I dug into my older emails, specifically those who I sent when I just started the community. And to say that I was surprised that people engaged is to say nothing. So in today's video, we're not just going to laugh at them, but we'll actually break them down and improve live. The idea is to show the thought process and how I spot what is broken and how I can fix it efficiently so you can implement in your own email. So let's jump into the first email. The first one is, let me open it. There it is. Headless chicken. By the way, just before we jump into the emails, I want to explain and give you a little bit of a background to them. So if you have no idea who am I and what I do, I'll just explain what are the emails for and basically what do they do, what's the purpose, and what is my business overall. So I help school creators with email marketing, and I send emails to basically inspire them and move towards one, inspire them to have their own email system, to send more emails. So, I mean, the members would send more emails and just give them examples of what I send. So they will just get inspired and send. And lastly, in the end, I'm a business and I want to sell, right? So the idea is to give some value and then make an ask and just sell my stuff, right? So let's jump into it. One thing I should mention is I chose basically the milestone emails. The first one, I think, if I remember correctly, was the one that I got my first call booked through an email. So this one, the second one was one of the first I sent, and the last one, I feel like it was the first one I sent to the school community. So first thing I do is I check the call to action. It's very important to know toward what it's leading, so it's easier to then just basically funnel and make the call to action work, right? So let's see what it is. Get something which is normal, and the only way through is placing a system. Focus on not getting leads, selling more, having more time with family. I just uploaded the first part of my course about automation and sharing all I know. Okay. Basically, it's about an automation course. I'll leave it as it is. I might change it because it's an older course, which is not in the community anymore. I think if you're interested, you can find it somewhere on YouTube. But yeah, I'll just change. I mean, I'll leave it as it is now. I'll change that later when we'll get to it. But it's good to know towards where we're leading. So it would be less selling. It would be more like inspiring a change because we want them to do something. We want them to watch a training, a course, which will take a while. And the idea is to make them want that, right? So, okay. Hey, now, first thing I would change is this. It's a minor thing, but hey, first name. I do that because sometimes I just I copy the email and I lose the little name within the brackets because it's not capitalized. And then I just send an email with, hey, name, right? Without the actual first name. Anyway, managing an online business can be actually simple. Okay, cool claim that is interesting, not bad. And the reason most are failing is because they have no system in place and they run it manually. So the problem with this is that it's not really like it's very broad, like right? Because the reason most are failing, let's say most school creators fail, fail because they have no system in place. What kind of system? What do you mean run manually? Right? This is questions that are important to ask because it's really broad and I have no idea what it means. I don't even remember what I meant back then. So after reading the email, I know I'm talking about following up, booking calls, reminding, basically nurture systems. So I would say because they rely on accepting and reaching out to your members manually. Right? You see the difference? The difference is the work they have to do. It's important to actually paint a picture of them doing the work and reaching out manually, right? It's something that people experience, they know how it feels, and you can clearly see why they fail, right? We can even go further and say, relying on accepting reaching out to members manually and spending hours on doing that. right? I want to emphasize that it takes a long time and they just fail because they focus only on doing that thing. Okay, once again, change it to first name. Think about it this way. Chicken can run for a few seconds without its head before it dies. And your business is no different. Better systems, head, you won't stay up for long. Not sure if I want to change anything. I'm not sure if I will email that today, but just to, in sake of keeping the email as is, I feel like it's okay to keep. Then ask yourself. Oh, also, one thing I wanted to mention and was really important is this, right? This section is just a claim. So I'm just saying most school creators fail. But how do I know that? So what usually I'm doing is I'm adding some proof to this part, right? So you say, give a claim, and then you prove it. So sometimes I would use numbers, sometimes I would tell stories. Like, let's say you talk about the pandemic and you say in 2020 it was a huge madness in the supermarkets, right? It's a claim. You have nothing proves it. But if you say then toilet paper used to run out the second it just got restocked, then it just proves it, right? It's a story with a fact. Then we know, okay, actually there was madness in the supermarkets. So I need to add something that will help me just prove the sentence, right? So I would copy this thing and I would go to Perplexity AI. It's a cool tool that I use. Where's this? Perfect. It's a cool tool that I use mostly to fact check. So if I'm saying some claims, it finds real facts, real studies, and that's a great AI for doing research and this kind of stuff. So I use that for it. Give me a study that shows school creators slash online communities fail because they spend the majority of time on approving and DMing numbers. Perfect. So now I haven't checked it before. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just not a real fact. So it's also, on one hand, it helps me to justify what I'm saying. On the second hand, just keeps me in check. So if I'm saying something stupid or something that is not a real fact, it just keeps me in check, and I won't do that. I will change it. Okay. Now we can honestly cite it in this content, in your content. Perfect. It like knows what I'm here to do, right? If you're creating content or a slide for a defensive claim, you can frame it like this. Research online community shows the community rely heavily on manually moderation, optimal response burning managers, scaling not just structure. Case study with severity. You could say that multiple creator fail and coaching communities don't die because of the platform. They die because of the creator becomes full-time moderator and support rep. Studies online communities manager. But okay, can you give me the numbers to support it? So here's a research with online communities moderator and show that stock and manual reactivate moderation struggle to scale, while those who add automations and distributed moderations grow more successful. Okay, so we have a study, something to support. Also, we can see 50% of communities professional reported a high degree of burnout in the past 12 months. So that's not really related to our point, so we'll keep on searching. The more online community studies moderation show the communities relying on manual driven ceiling that automate responsibility once we go to school creators. There's okay. Okay, so let's use that then. I can keep going and asking for more numbers or more questions, but I just want to keep it concise. I think you got the idea, so let's just head it to the email. In fact, a recent study showed that communities were stuck with manual moderation are more likely to struggle with scaling. Okay. Okay, now let's keep on going. We have now the proof, right? We say a claim and we have a proof. It's not the best proof, but just to illustrate a point. Chicken can run out. We talked about it. Okay, ask yourself, what makes the most money and I should focus on it more? How much time should we spend on the dirty job? What's the dirty job? I have no idea. How much money I would make implementing an automated nurture system? How should I know? How fast do I want it? I don't know. Right? Very weird questions and unclear. Honestly, I would just remove it because since right here we focus on the dirt work, I would prefer just leave this and explain what's the dirt work, right? Dirty job. Let's do that. Ask yourself, perfect. How much time you spent on doing the dirty job? And let's do this. No. How can I do that? I actually spend on doing the dirty manual work, manual job, it's changing job work. dirty manual work. Change this and okay, and that's a question. Okay, because let's be real, when it comes to the dirty work, following up members, booking calls, reminding, you start to feel overwhelmed, which is normal. Being relatable, and I'm just justifying how they feel. And the only way through is placing a system. What kind of system? Focus on what matters most for you, getting leads, selling, and just it's getting super scattered. So let's fix this first. The only way out is through placing a nurture system, or a nurture system, which greets each member the second they join. Right, it's way more clear. Next, focus on what matters most for you, getting more leads, selling more, having more time with family. I would remove it completely. It's just there. And the only way out is to replace it on a system. Yeah, I feel like that was completely unnecessary. So now we have placing an energy system in rich and effective. And now I uploaded the first part, the course about automations. Unrelated at all. I'm talking about nurture systems, and here's automation. And I'm sharing all I know. Amazing. Yeah, super broad, super not specific. So let's change that. Let's say I just upload the first part of the course, which is all about nurturing. Nurturing. It's like what was there before? Which was let's do that actually, based on so I don't. So keep track. I'm sharing all I know. Okay. I'm showing how to create a simple workflow to take to book calls, to greet. I don't want to say greet because I already said it here, which greets each member the second they join, and move and book calls without you being present. Okay, I'm not sure why like this. It just feels natural. I don't know. And the only way through is the system greets each member the second they join and books call without you being present. Now, I just uploaded the first part of the course, which is all about nurturing, showing how to create a simple workflow. I don't want to say greet again. I don't want to say do this. I'm showing how to create a simple workflow too. What did I send right here? Manual spending hours and doing that. It's okay, spending hours and stop spending hours on doing that. Now, my next question is doing what? Right? Let's see if it's clear, because on one hand I can leave it like this, but on the second hand, in second thought, it might not be the best. So let's see. By your system with groups members, I can join vocal without you being present. I just uploaded the first part of my course, which is all about nurturing, showing how to create a simple workflow to stop spending hours on following up members manually. Perfect. Okay. I just uploaded the first part of my course animation. That's the proper change. Okay. And I would hyperlink this one, in the benefit, right? How to create simple birth to stop spending hours, because that's what they want, right? They want to do that. Basically, what I'm implying is if they'll click, they'll get rid of this bad thing. Okay. P.S. If you're interested in getting those and more automations tomorrow, reply interested today. I have no idea what it means. I'll just remove it. Let's keep it short and concise. We already spent so much time on this email, and I hope to get to the rest of them. So is it perfect? Probably not. Probably I'll have to redo it and change a few things and then move on. But for now, I feel like it's a good draft and something that we can work with. Actually, I forgot about the preview text. Operating on a business but have a system in place. So it's a question: do you run your business without a head? Or maybe how long you can run your business without a head? I'm not sure if I like it, but I feel like it's way better than it was before. Also, it's way shorter, it's way more concise, and it just fits with my subject line. So ideally, I would remove it, but in sake for the video and just keep it as it was, I'll just keep it as it is. Okay, let's move to the second email, which is email to subject line. It took a glass shatter on my head to realize this, and glass emoji. Now, what I don't like is that it's too long, right? So probably if you're getting this email, maybe on your phone or even in your inbox, you'll see half of the subject line. No, probably in your inbox, you'll see everything, but on your phone, you'll just see this part. So we'll find a way to cut it out. I won't do that now, and it doesn't really matter. So first of all, hey, first name. I keep my glasses of water in the kitchen side cabinet hanging on the wall. To take them out, I need to react a little. Sorry, I need to reach a little bit over my head, open the cabinet, and then take it out. Apparently, that's a setup for a perfect job. Okay, I'm setting up the story. Super long. Okay, I don't want to read. I'm sorry, but basically, just like the glasses are in that cabinet, they could fall and you lose balance. And the first thing that you do, and what I do, is I just close it and leave it for the next person, right? And it's a triggering loop, the next person, blah, blah, blah. And eventually it happened. When I opened it while distracted by my phone, it hit my head, dropped to the floor and broke into pieces. You see all of this? This is the build up for the hook, right? Because that's the main thing of the story. That's the main interesting part. So I would switch the order and would thin it out, right? So I would copy this. Let's do that. Okay. When I opened the cabinet, I opened the cabinet above my head in the kitchen. In the kitchen. Should I say that while being distracted on the phone? By the phone. So it hit. So it hit my head, dropped on the floor, and shattered. Shattered into pieces. Pardon my English. I'm not an expert. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm in the cabinet above the head of the kitchen while distracted by the phone, and it hit my head, dropped on the floor, and shattered into pieces. What it does, it basically, the most hot part of the email, that's the part that is like basically hooks. It's the action part. It's not the what happened before, setting up everything. It's the main thing happening right now. That's what matters the most. So I wanted to be the first. Also, I gave it the location, right? The cabinet above the kitchen, because then what happened to you when you read that is you actually envision me or yourself opening up a cabinet above your head and something like this happening. Okay, that's a small psychological trick. Now, to the second part, which is just, I mean, not just, but figuring it out. It's very important to do that. I mean, not very important, but essentially copywriting, how I see copywriting, it's taking big paragraphs and just dancing it as much as possible. So we'll try to do that. And yeah, let's start. Keep my glasses of water above the cabinet. Okay. Keep my glasses of water in the cabinet hanging on the wall. Take them out and they're open. Okay, so I remove this part. That gives a bit of a background about what's happening in the cabinet, right? So I keep the glasses of water inside the cabinet. That's hanging. That is sign cabinet there. That is hanging on the wall, right? Apparently, that's a setup for the perfect trap. Perfect. Sometimes when someone opens it, messes up the glasses and they're losing balance, they fall. The first thing is to close it. And okay, so what I can say is, let's drop down. When someone opens and take the glasses out, it then mess the or the balance. The balance. That's the part. The first instinct is to close. So the first instinct is to close it as fast as possible and leave it for the next person. Now, what I'm saying is, most of the times I'm responsible for the mess and leaving it for the person behind. How can I just implement it right here is simply by changing when I open and take the glasses out, I'll leave it as this. It can mess the balance. Maybe I can play with the wording, but for the sake of the example, just leave it as it is because I don't really want to focus on that too much. Just the idea of taking a big paragraph and dancing it out. So it was like 3 or let's say 4 sentences into 2, right? And nothing really changed, right? The meaning is still the same. So instead of dot, and every time it's triggering a loop, the next person opens the cabinet, quickly realizes the mess, closes it, and moves its day, leaving the person in the worst position. Now, the question that I ask myself too is, does this impact the rest of the story? I know the story, and the answer is no. So there is nothing really related to it. So I'm never mentioning anyone else opening it and closing because you realize something's off. So I would just delete it because it won't change anything. It's just a random fact. Okay, they collapse. I mean, I won't say anything because it's clear. I can say they just eventually happened. They fall in my head. From that moment, I learned to treat that problem from the root, organizing the glasses immediately without delaying down and closing the door and waiting for the next person to hit his head. So again, this is not, I don't care about it. Okay, let's not delete it, just rewrite. From that moment, I learned to treat that problem. Okay, since then, every time I face a
Similar to treat problem from the roots, face a problem that is solvable now. I I tackle it. Not a problem, discuss immediately without delaying the outcome, closing the door and waiting for the next person. Nothing really changed, right? It's the same sentence with the same like meaning. When I'm going to learn through the problem from the root, organize it. Since every time I face a problem solvable, I tackle it immediately. Okay, I tackle it immediately. Perfect. It reminded me of the time when I was sending emails without worrying about deliverability. I was constantly letting the spam folder. I knew it sucked and I still kept doing it. Okay, so what I can say, I can go two routes. I can keep the it reminded me of the time, or I can say the next time I faced an issue, that's what I did. And I think I would go to that direction because it feels a bit less forced. So I'll say, so next time I sent an email without worrying about deliverability, consider that now possible outcome to ban my domain. Nothing was working and was closer to ban every day. Okay, so next time I sent an email. So next time I sent an email, knowingly that my sender reputation is low, I did not waited for. I did not. It's not waited. I say I didn't. I didn't just left the problem for the next day. For the next time I sent another. The only time I was sending emails without worrying about deliverability. The next time I send an email, knowing that the sender reputation is low, and for the next time, I actually fixed it. Okay, I try to fix it every time I'm saying, oh, I mean, in this story specifically, I'm not sure why, but I'm just talking about trying to do like small fixes. It's probably just closing the cabinet, but the lesson is actually tackle the problem. So I would completely change that. I try to just follow the same story pattern and I just came up with two stories. So I wouldn't do that this time. I would just remove it and yeah, I would just remove it without really giving too much information, too much context, because it doesn't really matter. The fact and the story is about tackling a problem right now and solving it immediately. So one more time. So next time I send an email knowingly that my reputation is low, I didn't just leave the problem. I actually fixed it. Maybe I didn't mind a thing and did not waited for something bad to happen. Maybe I can say I did not waited my for my head to get hit again. I want to just take the previous story and tie it with this one, with the lesson. Probably next time I actually fix it and then waited for the glass to hit my head again. Can I say something better? Probably. Should I? I don't know. I'll just keep it as it is to keep it, again, just the video concise. But the idea is to tie the story to the lesson. Right? See how much we danced it. So I think in the previous like example, I mean, in the like real email, it took so much time to just get to the hook, and right now we're already in the lesson. So it reminded me this two part just one. Get this 2 big paragraphs into one. Okay, nothing wasn't getting closer to every day. Okay, until it was time to doing it. So let's see maybe how I can tie it. This little problem, fix it and doing. Wait for the last to hit my head again. Yeah, I can just remove it. It cost a bit. I set a notification. What am I by just sending around? Yeah, I'm not sure that's something that I should include. Like, it just staying in the loop and retelling the same story and how exactly I did. Like, I'm trying to give value in the story part, in the lesson part, and then I'm trying to actually explain how it works. It cost a bit. I said on this occasion, I don't want to keep it scattered. I feel like this lesson is really important and just to fix something that is a problem and just do that without delaying for tomorrow, especially when it comes to sender reputation. So it's all fine. I'll leave it as it is. It costs a bit to set up application, sending much emails to give sound for refusing. Okay. This segment, for example, could be an email about itself. It'd be an email for itself. How to warm up an email. So we have to say goodbye. When I face the root problem, I never face another issue with deliverability. Okay, we can say that without me. And again, after I fixed the root problem, I never faced the issue. I never faced the issue from deliverability. It was that simple. I'm just illustrating how simple it is to actually do the work. So it's, I mean,
It's simpler to just actually do something rather than delaying it for some time. So it's much more important to find the root problem and to fix without waiting for the worst outcome, because when the glasses will crush on your head and you don't expect it. Okay, I kind of like it. So next time saying you'll know misinterpretation is oh, I didn't delete the problem. That's my lesson, right? So to find out the root problem. That's much not waiting, because the next time. Yeah, that's exactly what I did here, but in this. Okay, let's see, can I? So it's much more important to find the root problem and fix it without waiting for the worst outcome, because then the glass will crush your head. Okay, I can just leave it as it is. Let's add a call to action. Do I want to sell? I mean, I don't have really a product. Actually, let's start up to one of my products. Why not? Fix the problem with deliverability. It's more simple. I mean, I don't really have a product. Okay, let's say I just uploaded a video. Going through, explaining what I did exactly, and fixed my deliverability in minutes. First thing, don't wait for the glasses to fall on your hand, shatter, shatter, shatter. Fix your deliverability issues now, or at least double check if you have that. Right, then what I can do is just either add a thumbnail picture of one of the thumbnails, so let's say thumbnail, and click here to watch the video. Right, it's important to give two call to actions when it comes to videos, and you like give the image. Also, I wanted it to be in the center, and this one would be also in the center, right, the picture. So it's important because some people don't know you can actually click on an image, and they just prefer to click on the text. And if you don't give them the option, they simply won't click. So it's a bit more concise and consumable. I won't change the subject line. Honestly, I don't really want to think about it. But we took a very long email and just changed it to this much. All right. Once again, it might be not the best. I might need to do more work, but it's just how I see it and how I think about it. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff and you want to see me breaking down more emails, specifically this one, which I honestly really liked and I look forward into checking out, then I'd love it. I just want to see how this format works. So if you watched till this part and you liked it, you found it interested, let me know, and I maybe keep on uploading this inside my school group. So I'm not sure if it's great, like video series, and I'm not sure if I will do that mostly on YouTube. So if you like it, make sure to jump inside my school community. Yeah, it's school.com/flows, and I will just upload more stuff right here. I feel like it would be the best. And yeah, just let me know. It would also be the greatest indicator. So if you like the content, you join the group and you let me know that, hey, Dennis, what's up? I watched your video and and I want to see more. Or just comment it below. Maybe I'll just upload something. But yeah, feel free to join. I might do that right here because I really like the format. So, yep, if you enjoyed it and you stayed this far, let me know. It's very important for me and I would love to get your feedback. So, thank you all, and I see you on the next video. Bye bye.